the inventors are the technical people only. If they are able to uh, form search strings, or perhaps if somehow they are able to capture results, understanding the pattern language is also going to be a difficult task. So to overcome that, the way we are showing the results, giving the query and uh, giving query and snippets for the each element of the query, or the query prior art matching, is something different that we're doing, which was also well appreciated by some attorneys and as well as some inventors.
Anirudh, in this, one important piece would also be that any inventor would want to run this as a quick check rather than uh, key uh, I'll sit for, let's say, 5-6 hours and I'll
Hmm.
search this. I'll try to determine really is my invention novel or not.
Mhm.
So this is not something that they are either trained to do. Yeah, this is not something that they can even do really well. So first of all, उनको अपने उनका जो idea है, they have to translate that into a small query, because जितने भी हमारे पास public search engines हैं, they all allow you to search with only a couple of keywords. So say 10, 12 keywords, you cannot put anything more than that. If you put anything more than that, they won't work. So you have to translate that idea of yours into a very small and compact search query. And if you do that wrong, then all the results that you are going to get, they will also be, not the right results that you need to see. You may get a wrong impression that your idea is novel, even though if you made the right query, then you would have seen the results which would show you that idea is not novel. So first stage is this, formulating the thought that you have in your mind into a small search query. One problem is that.
Mhm.
So that is something जो कि untrained people cannot do really well. Even if you are able to do that well, second problem that comes up is a lot of results, thousands of results, and you do not know where you should stop. uh, Either you will get tired, these all appear to be different documents, not very much linked with my idea, and there are thousands of them. So this is, to start with, it is already a hopeless business. So it is very likely that the people will see one page of results and then maybe call it a day. Ki, I did not find it. Third problem would be, even when you are viewing those results, each of those results is basically a complete patent in itself. And a typical patent is like 10, 12 pages long. And even if it discloses your idea at any point, say on page 7 or page 8, then still your invention is not novel. But to read one patent in its entirety and to understand it would itself take like 1 hour or 2 hours. So inventors do not have this kind of a time and effort at their disposal, because they are trained to to develop things. They are not trained to run prior art searches. That's why you know they would face these difficulties when trying to validate whether their idea is novel or not on the public search engines. Due to these difficulties, they are more likely to fail in actually judging the novelty than to succeed. And with PQAI, our aim is to make them succeed with minimum effort from their side. That's why there are three different components which solve the three different problems that I just described. One is that you can simply describe your idea in your own words, just like you have it in your mind. You don't have to create any search strings or anything. Second is you get a very targeted set of results, simply 10 results that are closest to your query. I mean your idea. Even you do not have to read 10 complete patents, because from each patent we find out some relevant portion and then we show that to you as a complete text. So you can judge whether these results are actually related to your idea and how much, by simply looking at the results page only. So you end up ultimately you end up, seeing only, 2 or 3 documents in their complete entirety, because they are the ones that are most relevant to you. The overall time will be saved, and you would get a clear and concise answer to the question ki how novel is your invention.
All points are valid in this one, Nitish. Just one question I would add, just with respect to the problem two, where uh, so it is honestly very true that inventors, whenever they are running a search, they run like a 15-minute search, for example, sometimes not only on patents or simply a 15-minute Google search. And if in that portion, if they are not able to identify something which is very similar or even close to what they were looking for, they would conclude their search as novel. Uh, so at that point, inventor bias kicks in. So I'm not sure how good or how open they would be to that, because or to this point, because what's gonna, or at least with some of the inventors I've talked to, I have seen. Uh, so even they said ki they have run some pattern search and all those things. They were not able to identify anything, which ultimately confirms their hunch that they were already aware that their invention is novel, and at the end of the day, when they did not find anything, it was just a confirmation. They were they it was just a second confirmation to them. So if we are covering this point, let's just be a bit more careful with the words. Otherwise, people are very easily to get offended, especially the inventors. So
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to pass this to you. But all the three problems which Mahesh has said makes complete sense. And in fact, the second problem where inventor feels his invention is novel, but it's actually not, and the reason is the high recall of the database. It's something which would resonate with the prosecutor who has to talk to attorneys, or who, sorry, not attorneys, who has to talk to the inventors and convince him that his idea needs to be refined